On behalf of the Scharhon family, I'm honored to introduce a man that I met at age 12 when my father took me into his warehouse to handwrite orders. Over the years, I've witnessed the ethical approach of business, his passion for the industry, his respect for the vendor community, and his unique relationship with all his customers. He's never shy of a good laugh or an engaging story, and if you're around long enough, you'll hear the same story twice. It has been a true pleasure to have called Alan a customer for all these years, but more importantly, it has been an honor to call him a friend. It is with great privilege that I introduce Alan Scharhon of the Scharhon Candy Company.
Thank you, Dean, for those kind words. I wasn't sure which way you were going to go, but you did nice. My brother-in-law would always say that a secret to a good speech is a great opening line, a great closing line, and very little content between those two. It's not going to happen here. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we had to put off our induction for a year. Translated, that means I've been working on this speech for a year, which means I've got about 100 pages to read. Just joking, Teresa, really, I'm not much for public speaking. Being inducted into the Candy Hall of Fame is an incredible honor, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the entire NCSA Selection Committee. There is absolutely nothing better than starting your day off with a call from Teresa informing you that you've been nominated to be inducted into the Candy Hall of Fame. Unbelievable. I would also like to congratulate all my fellow inductees. It is a true honor to be included amongst such an impressive group. I would like to thank both my mentors, who I will talk about during my speech, my father-in-law and founder of Scharhon Candy Company, Jim Scharhon, and Mern Doherty, owner of Northwest Brokerage and Candy Hall of Fame inductee 1992. I would like to thank my parents who instilled in me my work ethics and for my upbringing. Thank you to my wife, Marie, who is my inspiration and has been by my side, putting up with me for the entire time. I would like to thank my children, Jean and Andrew, who have from an early age been a part of the company and who have worked hard to make it what it is today. I would like to thank my daughter-in-law, who keeps my son on the straight and narrow and has brought two beautiful grandchildren into our lives, both too young to totally understand what we'd actually do for a living, thankfully. Although I know better than to single out any individuals from the industry, I would be remiss not to publicly thank two brokers that have been with me forever. The first being the entire Valento family from Kaler Centers, for always looking out for our family and our business's best interests. This, of course, started with Frank Valento calling on my father-in-law and then calling on me. After Frank decided to retire, Dean followed in his footsteps. Dean and I speak multiple times on the phone daily. Next up would be Mr. Steve Stoney Stonehocker from BBI, who has called on the Scharhon Candy Company for the last 40+ years. Manufacturers have often asked the question whether they work for the Scharhon Candy Company or for the manufacturer. I can assure you they work for both of us. Thank you both very much. You are the best. When word got out amongst family and friends about this honor, one of the most frequently asked questions was, what do you have to do to be inducted into the Candy Hall of Fame? As I thought about my answer, I replied, I guess you just have to have fun every day for the next 46 years. In my bio, it explains how my entry into this industry surely was not planned. I guess since I couldn't be a dental technician and build teeth, I could be a candy distributor and do everything in my power to make sure dental technicians had a job. Now, I'd like to explain what a day early on in my career looked like. And when I tell this story, I would usually ask the person if they had ever seen the show Mad Men. They always answer, sure. Well, at 3 o'clock every day, and yes, you could set your clock to this, Mern Doherty would show up at our warehouse in his gold Cadillac DeVille to pick up my father-in-law. They would drive about a mile up the road to a restaurant/lounge. Then I would ask the person if they knew what a lounge was. These two would walk in and head to their table. Not a word was spoken. Their drinks were brought to them. Not a word was spoken. And after the drinks were served, they would discuss whatever item was new or whatever promotion was just released and talked about quantities. The restaurant had a phone jack installed for them at their table. When I was telling this to a new, younger manufacturer rep, she said, "You mean for the internet?" I said, "No, for a phone call." Then Mern would call the regional for any approval that was needed. The entire deal was written on a cocktail napkin, a handshake was given, and then I'd pick up my father-in-law and he would inform me that I had a load of whatever they talked about coming my way. I then had to figure out how to sell it, get it out to retail, and make sure retail got it off their shelves because these two guys were going to do this daily. They made it into a game, and luckily I caught on and was able to keep up with them. That was also how we became known as the Wonka Warehouse of the West. I learned everything from those two, and I think about them daily. I don't imagine too many people in this room have ever had family problems within their business. Well, we did in 1994, and I tendered my resignation to my father-in-law, but he refused to accept it. So that November, a lot of people were asked to leave the Halfin Candy Company, and my wife and I were chosen to rebuild it. It took a couple of years, working 12, 14-hour days, but we got it straight, and the smile on his face as we moved into our new warehouse was repayment enough for us. Now, of course, all this was made possible because of my relationship with Bartell Drugs, a local drug company. My wife and son always loved putting together jigsaw puzzles. Marie was always asking me to help them do puzzles. I would always respond the same by saying, "I'll do 5 pieces with you. I'll do the 4 corners and the last piece." I just didn't have the patience for puzzles. Now, if you gave me 3 32-foot aisles of shelving in a store and let me have at creating a schematic, that was a puzzle I could get my creative juices flowing. That's exactly what George Bartell and Jean Barber did. They gave me total control of the space for a long time. When John Wyeth, their candy and snack buyer, was asked why he never went to Sweets and Snacks, his response was he didn't have to. He would respond, "Alan will bring back all the new items and he'll work out all the deals for our ad calendar and our everyday promotional programs." I am eternally indebted to the Bartell family, and I owe part of this honor that I'm receiving to them. All these years, the reason for my success has always been because this industry is so much fun. It brings so many smiles to so many people. I can only ask that we do our best to keep the industry filled with fun. As I come to a close, I feel this is the perfect time in my career to publicly thank all of the manufacturers, all of the regionals, and all of the brokers who have for so many years been extremely supportive of my efforts at Halfin Candy Company. Finally, once again, I would like to publicly thank my wife Marie for being by my side for this entire crazy ride. I love you very much. Thank you, and thank you all for this incredible honor.